Lobster Magnet. Lobster's a 10 item, don't you grab it. Hey, welcome to Lobster Magnets Review, the channel review. I'm here with my buddies, Goro,
Yo,
and Zabul.
Evening, folks.
And we are here to talk about this marginally better, this is probably the best chapter since they've gotten into the shelter. Definitely a big step up. What did you guys think of Emma's crazy negotiation tactic?
I guess.
She kind of pulled like a huge sociopath kind of move, which is kind of fun.
I mean, we all know she's not going to do it, so I don't see why he just doesn't call bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, because I guess he has more to lose than, she does, because he likes that shelter and whatnot. And I guess the threat is that, like, if he tries to kick them out, then they could hypothetically just say, fuck you, and blow it up. And then, say screw you to everyone. But, one of the character traits of Emma's are sort of like brash and impulsiveness. And I thought this was like one of the better examples of that. And Rufio still doesn't have a fucking name, so I'm still going to call him Rufio. And now he's been forced to be their guide. He's got a little tsundere sort of like, well, okay, well, I guess that'll just be like seeing you die, so I don't care. And we're finally getting rid of the children, so, that's a win.
Okay, the getting rid of the children is a slight win. Zavel brings up a good point, though. Like, it's really hard to believe, like, Emma would ever do that. Like, it kind of like... It kind of feels like a little, very much against her character to even like do this kind of like psychologically warped kind of threat.
Yeah,
I'd maybe see Ray doing something like this, not Emma. Emma's more like true-hearted.
True. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What were the instances where she did? Well, mostly it's been sort of impulsive and not sort of destructive, where it's like, Ray was willing to, like, bend over once that he thought, like, the opportunity to, surpass or escape was over, while Emma was still, like, trying to, like, save Norman. And it's like, here, I disabled your ear thing. Run off. Go to the walls. Be free. You can go hide in the fucking woods. While Norman just sort of accepted his fate, realizing that, that wasn't really plausible. That was kind of her being impulsive. You could argue that maybe this is like her sort of like taking on more of a Ray role. I was certainly,
Yeah, but I actually believe it out of Ray. He's spiteful enough to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Emma like deeply cares.
I'll blow your fucking bunker up. I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see you being an asshole and like actually going through with that threat.
And like. Emma deeply cares about the children, obviously. Like, this is her whole purpose, like, to rescue all the children. She essentially is saying, like, you know what? If I can't have that and, and manipulate you at the same time, fuck that. I'm going to blow up everything. That just feels really odd. Like, Emma, like, even saying that in front of, like, some of the kids themselves, like, that's like super. It feels so super anti-Emma. Right.
Well, here's my question, hypothetical story writing question that I propose to both of you. Like, we know that the direction of the story is that they got to get rid of the kids. The shelter is a great way to get rid of those fucking kids, to continue to go on an unfettered adventure. And he's obviously going to be their guide. It's too well set up for that to, like, not follow through. What do you think would have been a more believable thing to, like, follow through with that?
I don't know. Jeez. They'd have to find something else besides threatening to blow themselves all up.
Honestly, the obvious threat is just threaten to kill him. Literally just threaten to kill him. Like, treat him like Golem, put a fucking rope around his neck and drag him through the wilderness, pointing a gun at his head. Like, that's kind of what I expect. half expected for them to actually get him to do anything.
Or maybe they can like torture him. You know, they could just like constantly torture him.
How would you believe like little fucking 11-year-old children are gonna like fucking torture him? Like I don't know. Like
I mean, they had him tied up. Like they could have like, had him tied up. Like started like, I don't know, fucking putting things underneath his fingernails and like. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Like, how do you torture somebody? That's like, how did kids torture people? Like, I mean, there's a kid way of doing it by jumping on their jumping on his back all the leg. Time.
Fuck.
So you
dog, put on some music and cut his ear off.
So you guys were kind of hoping for, like, I guess, have you ever heard of this movie, How Could You Kill a Child?
No.
It's like this cult film from like Spain, and basically there's like this island where there's only children, and the reason why there are children is that all the kids are like serial killers who murder adults. So basically there's this guy and his pregnant wife, and they go to the island. I have an important
question about that then.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they eventually grow up to be not adults who would have no problems killing other children?
Maybe. I don't think the film really goes into like that much depth about like the world building and like how these children self-sustain. I think they put about as much thought into it as like fucking Stephen King's Children of the Corn.
Yeah, but at least that didn't have like societal ramifications. Wasn't that like some sort of evil cult that sprang up or something?
Yeah, but they had like kids, and they like after you go like 15 years old, you get like sacrificed to like the fucking he who walks in the corn bullshit
or something.
Yeah, and like so you gotta wonder where the other kids, how do they keep like self-perpetuating unless it's like a recent cult or the whole point is like it's creepy kids killing people, and you shouldn't think too much about it. It's just the fact that like the kids are killing it. And there's this awesome scene at the end where like the guy's lost his wife and he's like trying to get off on a boat, and like the kids are swarming him, and he's just like beating the shit out of these children who are like trying to attack him on the boat, and then the police come and then they shoot him because they think he's like killing children.
Okay. Yes, I think like that would have been awesome.
I think you just want something where there can be like, Oh,
fuck. Shit. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, Greg.
Okay, I disconnected for a second. Phew, might have to edit that.
Well, I'll check it when I'm doing the edit. But we're still recording, right?
Yeah. I was trying to turn off my VPN or something. Well, because I was noticing like a little bit of like lag while we were talking, so I thought that would help, but it just turned off the Skype call, basically disconnected me.
Amazing. But I'll edit it out. So you guys wanted more kid casualties. I was okay with it. I'm like happy that like we're going in this direction. I'm surprised neither of you liked the big Emma moment. Although I can understand the argument that like it does feel a little bit more rash for her. It feels like something more that more Ray would do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it does affect like the believability of it, I guess. Like maybe there's like a tiny shred of doubt, but like if I was him, I don't know, I wouldn't be like as scared that she was crazy. I think he would say in his mind she's obviously bluffing, but I mean, should I really even risk this chance? Like, I think his reaction is also important to, like, the believability of that scene in general as well.
And do you believe his sort of, like, reaction where he's, like, kind of forced to go along, or, like, he doesn't want to accept the possibility? Because assumingly if he, like, tries to stab them out, they still have the detonator, and they can, blow it up outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, only activated in the shelter or whatever. But I think for our sake, we can just assume it's wireless.
Let's be honest here. They're blowing up their only chance at a safe location to keep the children at, and a ton of supplies. She's not going to do it.
Yeah,
I feel like that is just obvious.
But it's her tenacity and crazy spirit that she even thought about doing it.
I still don't see it. It's just.
You don't think that maybe like Ray's impulsiveness is like rubbing off of her, and maybe that's what the indication of this chapter is?
I guess. I mean, it would be an interesting swap where Ray does. I think I mentioned that before. Ray.
Yeah, you did. Ray has to become more maternal, while Emma becomes more cold and calculating.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the thing is,
this would be more fun where if Ray was like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
Yeah,
we did not discuss this.
Yeah, if Ray's reaction was like that, if they like suddenly switched like good cop, bad cop in a way, in a sense, and Ray started to become like the good cop, he's like, wait a minute, Emma, what the hell are you saying? Why would you even think that, do that? Then it would sell a little bit better, I think. But Ray was just kind of like smugly like, That's right.
That's right. We're going to destroy everything we've worked for.
Yeah. What you going to do about it?
True. All right. Interesting argument. So you guys were both like not super pulsed with the negotiation, and still think we're annoyed by this chapter and Rufio.
A little bit, yeah. It's kind of interesting. Like I want to know more about Rufio now, and like what his motivation is, like, and wanting to like kick all the kids out, for instance. Like, now that we figured out that there's plenty of food there still, like, he's been alone in that bunker for a long time. He probably wouldn't mind, like, normal people wouldn't mind like having a little bit of company every now and then. Like, it wouldn't be like the biggest deal, like just be like a little less personal space, but there's enough space to go around and plenty of food.
Also, just as a flat out reminder, we still don't know what the fuck the poachers are.
Yeah, that's true. We still haven't gotten an indication. Well, Rufio gets a flashback where we can see, like, the kid gloves removed off, and then we get some more brutal demon violence.
That was like demon on demon violence, so I mean, I don't know if I'd count that as...
Well, no. Like a flashback of Rufio about how all of his compatriots got killed off, and so we can learn about how they were caught. We can learn about the poachers. We can learn about them surviving. We can see some good old child death.
Yeah.
We are overdue for some child death in the Promised Neverland.
It was great when Promised Neverland opened up the pilot chapter with basically a child death. That was like a big selling point of the series. We need more.
We do need more child death, which is kind of sad. Now I'm kind of as bloodthirsty as Zavul. I've gotten a little bit of I need some child death.
I mean, we need some fucking consequences right now. Like they're threatening like this psychopath dude. They're trying to like manipulate the shit out of him, like in a sociopathic kind of way. But it's, I mean, there should be like some kind of real fucking hard consequences to doing something like this.
Although, I kind of wondered, do you think like Rufio knows how sex works?
Huh?
What?
Well, think about it. Like, as far as they're concerned, everyone's artificially inseminated. There's like no adults outside of like the caretakers to teach them about.
Though they've both been raised in that weird the farm thing, so I assume sex ed is somehow.
But why would you?
Like, they have pictures. They have like books for everything.
Yeah, maybe it's in there. But like I don't know, I feel like they think it's like kind of pointless because most of them get shipped off by the
I
time
don't
they're
know.
like
What
11.
you think like they're gonna have a time skip where everyone is like having an absolute panic attack because Ray is growing like facial hair?
Yeah, that begs the
You have
question:
demon
how?
blood. You have hair on your face.
Maybe.
Plus,
And
I
like,
mean, they have books, all kinds of books, and it like human sexuality and romance and stuff is a fairly common topic. Like even
Okay,
if it's
yeah.
glossed over, like they at least like have mention of like babies being born or
yeah,
like
you would think
people
that.
having sex or like even like the most PG-13 or PG kind of movies like kiss and fade out.
Yeah.
Like you'd
But
think, like kids even at that age would ask like questions like, Mama, why do you have these huge things on your chest, or like why does Joey have a PP and I don't, or something like that. Things
Yeah.
like that. You can't just like. I mean, unless they came up with some kind of convoluted like system to like lie about sex, like I think they would just flat out tell them like,
Yeah.
okay, those are sexual reproductive organs and whatever,
I don't
right?
know. Maybe they could just like that's what makes you a boy, and that's what makes you a girl, and just leave it at that.
Guess.
'Cause I guess the reason why I wonder and why I find Rufio interesting is the idea that like he's basically this sort of man child who's like basically, and the reason why I think they have him talking like sort of like slang, and the fact that he's like so crude is the fact that like he doesn't know what an adult looks like aside from whoever I guess was his caretaker.
I guess.
Oh,
Which is like one of the mildly interesting. And what do you think of his little nickname he gave to Emma, Antenna Girl?
antenna head.
Yeah, because of her little signature, little piece of hair that like pops up.
Yeah, it felt it honestly felt a little weird, especially after that. Like really just like out of character scene with Emma, because like the way she reacted afterwards, she's just like, huh? Antenna? She still seems a little bit unhinged after the fact that she like threatened him by like murdering him along with all the other children and destroying the bunker.
Yeah, I guess. Although I do like that panel where it's just like, let's make a deal, mister, or else we'll blow the whole shelter. And she's like enthusiastic. I don't know, not her like biggest moment, but decent. So, all right, let's get to the scores. Since you guys are obviously a little bit more negative than me, I'm kind of curious to see where you landed.
I don't know. I guess I'd give it a 7.5.
That's fair. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, because like it's funny. Like we've been really hard on Promised Neverland, and it's not like it's been like exceptionally terrible. It's just sort of like not been exciting because like Promised Neverland used to be like that like series I want to shove down everyone's throats. Now it's just kind of like gone down a few notches. Like okay, maybe come on, you get up there again.
Yeah,
Make me want to like shove you down. Make me feel proud that I like found this thing.
it's like taking a few like it's taking like a few heavy punches right now, and it's like struggling to to stand upright. It's a little bit dizzy after like getting punched so hard a few times. Right now, we kind of just want it to be like in tip top fighting form again. To
and we're I guess we're really rooting for like a main antagonist. Like I'm just trying to think because like it's always interesting to me. Like if you look at Naruto, after the big Orochimaru Leaf Crush arc, what does Kishimoto do? He instantly moves into introducing the Akatsuki, and he does a great job of with introduction of Itachi and Kasami, and because he does such a good introduction with that, fucking everyone's wearing Akatsuki cloaks. They're still a staple of anime conventions, and the important thing about really good shonen series is that introducing new iconography, and we've gotten some stuff, but none of it feels like it's Akatsuki worthy. like Songju and Musica are not, Akatsuki worthy. They don't feel like iconography that you feel like, oh my god, that's so cool. That's perfect. Like the closest thing we've gotten is like maybe like the different tattoos for the different plantations. And what was his plantation called? Well, theirs is Gray Spell, and his was like something. I don't know. I just remember the name reminded me of like this southern plantation. I just have this image of like, this like plantation demon
in a fucking white suit sipping a mint julep.
Yes.
Again, continued fodder for my eventual spin-off for this series.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
The classic imitation of like antebellum South of like a plantation owner with like a white pinstripe suit, and he's just like, sitting out on his porch drinking. I just have this image of like, Rufio's plantation where, there's like some like white striped demon just sitting there, sipping on some juice while like the kids play in the field. He's like, they're going up mighty strong. Good batch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh god, we need more demons. We need demons and explanations and other things.
Yeah.
So Scott Zevel was 7.5. Goro, did you give a score yet?
No, I didn't. I'd say this is a 7. Just a 7. It was a okay-ish chapter. I'm hoping that the separation from the kids is gonna increase the strength of the series.
Glory Bell, that's what it's called. That's why I think it's a fucking like southern thing. Glory Bell. Does that not sound like like southern plantation?
That's Rufio's plantation.
Yeah, that's where I have the image of the demon like fucking plantation owners drinking mint juleps.
Yeah, it does actually sound like that.
Glory Bell, where we raise our humans fresh.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Look on the chest to know that you've got a Glory Bell child. That's what gives me the image. All right, so you're a 7. I'll be a little bit more generous. I like the Emma moment. I'll give it an 8. I think we're moving in a better direction. The kids are going to be dropped off very soon. I'm sure next chapter we'll get like 2 or 3 pages of goodbyes, and then they're going to be gone. Yay! I can't wait for no more children. It's going to be the best. Get rid of those fucking children.
It's going to be great, hopefully. Like,
maybe we can get some like evil children who are like working with the demons or something. Yeah. We really need it. This series is in desperate need of a really good antagonist.
Yeah, I think you make a good
they're
point.
Building up the poachers for that.
Yeah. It'd be nice if the poachers were like a good protagonist. So hopefully the poachers will live up to what they need to be. All right. So what do you think would be an appropriate thing to shill?
Something with sociopath. Like
what?
Oh god, I don't fucking know. First thing that pops in my mind is like Keanu Reeves in that like Devil's Advocate kind of movie with Al Pacino.
Well, how about this? There's this book called Unabomber: How the FBI Broke Its Own Rules to Capture Terrorist Ted Kaczynski.
Fine.
Okay, so there you go. Buy this Unabomber book because Emma became a bomber. Not the best bomber in... How many bombers have there been? I'm just trying to think. The Hunter x Hunter had the bomber guy who looked like Freddy from fucking Scooby-Doo. And have there been any other bomber characters in manga? I'm sure there have been. There's this really there's this really weird manga called The World Is Mine, and it's basically about this like one guy who's like this serial killer shooter guy who's like really awful, and then his like best buddy is like this like neurotic bomber guy, and then there's also this gigantic bear monster, and it's a really fucking weird manga.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen that.
No, it's hard to find. It's really like down the rabbit hole. So forget about that. Just go read the story about how the FBI broke its own rules to capture the Unabomber. Because Emma's our little Unabomber, even if she's like a pretend.
Jesus Christ, Isaac.
She doesn't bomb anyone, but she pretended to, just to show how crazy she is. And who knows, maybe she'll get a more.
One other bomber I can think of, the guy who picks his nose and throws explosive boogers at people in One Piece.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, that was a while ago. Wasn't he with Baroque Works?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still believe Crocodile hated everyone in Baroque Works except for Mr. One. He still love it. They would rather be in prison than deal with them. All right, so we've done our shielding, we've done our scores, we've done our discussion. Thank you guys for spending the time to hear our thoughts on The Promised Neverland. Let's see next week if the next chapter improves, and then we're excited about the series and it continues to live up its Shonen Jump potential. And I will probably be at New York Comic Con this upcoming week, so I'm going to be looking for Promised Neverland cosplayers.
Yeah. Promised Neverland cosplayers. The Promised Neverland is in New York Comic Con.
Although, want to hear something really interesting that's happening in New York Comic Con?
What?
They're bringing the fairy tale creator Hiro Mashima. They're dragging his ass.
Oh, okay. Well, I never really followed fairy tales.
To me, it's always obviously I'm not a fan, but I'm always really interested when they drag the really experienced, successful creators from their little manga studio hovels to fucking America. It's one of the things I enjoyed. I enjoyed my time where I got to see Kishimoto get dragged to America. I really enjoyed seeing the fucking assassination classroom guy get dragged to America. And I went through 3 fucking panels just to ask my question, just to live out my fucking weeboo fantasy, to ask a manga creator a question, and it was the best. So who knows? To me, that asking, even if it's a manga I'm not a huge fan of, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I like doing that. I like interacting with them. Because, on my bucket list says to talk to Oda, although I'm sure that's never, ever, ever going to happen.
I would love to talk to Oda too, honestly.
I wonder if you're like J.J. Abrams and he just wanted to use all of his resources if he could talk to Oda. Or if he's so under lock and key by the publishers that they just wouldn't risk it.
A good question.
Who knows? We will never know. All right, but thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.
See you, folks.